Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. Hi, everybody. Hey, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. This is a special day today, honey. I have not been able to sleep in 3 days, y'all. Okay. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button as you come on in. You can put your comments in the comment section. Let me make sure the comment section is ready. Okay. Y'all, we have a show today. I am so happy to see y'all. I am so excited. Whew. I have somebody that the world needs to know. Okay. I have real estate royalty in these virtual streets today, y'all. He is an outstanding leader, change maker. His accomplishments in this real estate game, y'all, are undeniable. He's a proud husband and father. He holds the esteemed title of the #1 agent in the nation. Yes, y'all heard me. He's licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. He is the KW Military Regional Ambassador. He's also a managing partner at Coalition Properties Group, which has the #1 sales team. Woo! Where they have donated over $1 million in charity. He is a real estate investor. He bought his first home at 23 years old. Okay. He attended the top HBCU, Tuskegee University in Alabama. Come on. He is also a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, and it is their Founders Day today. Y'all, friends, help me welcome this king to the stage, King James, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Yes. Happy Founders Day, Fred.
Thank you, fam. Thank you, fam. I appreciate it. It's cold on the East Coast. It's my beard growing out. I'm growing it out. And we have our Christmas party on Saturday. But it's cold it's ice cold Wednesday.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me make sure my volumes. You see, I'm representing. I got the 06 in the background.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I love that. Indeed.
Yes. How you celebrate? Oh, so you say y'all celebrating this weekend?
Well, we have our Christmas party Saturday, but tonight I'm gonna get out with a couple of my LBs who's in the area and have a dinner. Might go out for some drinks, and we also have our chapter here. We have an event, so we're just gonna do like a happy hour.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So tell the people that it's Founders Day. For those who don't know, tell them what today is.
Yeah. So today is I would say today is
here if it wasn't for you. So, brother, go ahead.
yeah, we're the oldest, the coldest, and the boldest fraternity, which is Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, founded in 1906 in Ithaca, New York, on Cornell University campus, by 7 esteemed men. Right, what they built. It's funny because we think about our seven jewels, who are founders of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. They believe in the power of partnership. They believe in coming together and collaborating over competing. You know what I mean? And so, all of that stuff that we believe in, when it comes down to it, you got a divine nine, you got different fraternities, you got different sororities, things of that nature. But it's all about collaboration over competition and the power of partnership. And you can go so much further together than you can alone, quite frankly. So I'm thankful to be a part of the greatest fraternity on earth. I'm grateful to just be, have the relationships that I've had in this fraternity. And so I'm just thankful. So shout out to the good bros, 06 out there.
I love it. Thank you and congratulations. And like I mentioned before we get started, you went to HBCU. So tell us a little bit about your experience at the HBCU, Tuskegee University.
Yeah. Man, I'm fresh off of homecoming. We had homecoming like 2 weeks ago. Okay. And Tuskegee University and Tuskegee, Alabama, founded by Booker T. Washington, right? And that being on campus at an HBCU, which is historically Black university, is an experience that is hard to describe, but the energy that you feel being around like-minded people and the survival mode that we are in at the time that we go to college, but you develop these relationships and friendships that last for a lifetime, and when you're out in the world and you see somebody from Tuskegee, when I'm in the airport, see somebody from Tuskegee, it's love. No matter, I can go anywhere in the world, and if there's somebody in Tuskegee, it's love. We're hanging out. What do you need? How can I help you? And just that in itself, just knowing you have that support system, and even just being on campus at Tuskegee University, the grind that we had to go through and the mentorship. We wasn't just another number being on campus. We had the mentorship. We had the people there that are like, hey, you're at HBCU and you compete with everybody over here. Listen, this is what you need to survive in this world. And it wasn't sugar-coated. It was handed to us bluntly and direct, and we didn't feel like another number on campus. So I'm thankful for that.
I love that. And I always say that, I know the HBCUs, the unity of it, and top producers, the doctors, the attorneys, most of them come out of those HBCUs. We see Kamala Harris, at Howard HBCU. Yep. So I love all of that. So it is so amazing to see. And you ready to clock in? You ready to clock in?
I'm ready to clock in.
Okay, so tell us, how did you get started in real estate? Like, what was the beginnings of real estate?
Yeah, the beginnings of real estate goes back to my high school days, quite frankly. And I had this mentor that owned a bunch of real estate in my city. And at the time, I didn't know this, but like he was probably the biggest holder of real estate in my city. And so basically what I did, I collected rent for him. Now, granted, when I was collecting rent, I didn't know I was going to these different houses for one person, right? So I didn't even understand what was going on. Fast forward, his son coached me in basketball. So that's how I kind of developed that relationship. His son coached me in basketball, and he was like, hey, this is what my dad does. I ended up going to Tuskegee. His dad and him is a good brother of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And this is a quote that I like to tell people: relationships will take you places money can't, right? And so cultivating that relationship, and that led me to buying my first property at the age of 23 once I graduated. And I bought that property in the neighborhood I grew up in because I wanted people like me to see that we don't always have to be tenants, we can be landlords. And so I'm thankful for that relationship. And that was kind of like that's my backstory to real estate. And once I bought that first property, quite frankly, I caught the real estate bug and I just took off.
Wow. And how did you, because I know a lot of people are intimidated by buying property. So how did you, what were the first steps you took to, like, where did you get the money, like with the debt? How did that come about?
Yeah. So I graduated college, started working for a company called 3M, Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company, right? And my first year in, I blew a lot of money because I never had money before. I didn't know how to handle money or manage money, right? I come from nothing, you know what I mean? And so I was never taught those tools.
Right.
And so one thing that I did do when I signed my offer letter to work is that they set you up with a 401k. And I'm like, I thought retirement, right? I'm like, I need to put as much money as possible in this because I need something to fall back on. So I said, I'm gonna max out my retirement account day one, right? And so with a corporate job like that, they'll match you up to 6%. So that's free money, right? So when I bought my first property, at 23, it wasn't like I had a bunch of savings in the bank. I didn't have that. I had a 680 credit score, $75,000 in student loans, right? And I bought my first property with my money from my 401k because you buy using your 401k, they don't give you that 15% penalty that you would if you was using that money for anything else.
Okay.
So that was my first. I bought that property. I bought my first property using my 401k retirement account.
Right. Wow. And you bought your first property with is 680. And see, a lot of people would think that's not even possible. So I'm glad that you said that. So yeah. So getting credit is just so important.
Yep.
And so what is something that you really love about real estate? Because we don't get to all the accolades. I can't wait to get to that. But what is one of the things that you absolutely love about real estate?
Yeah, I think the reason I left corporate America for real estate in itself was fulfillment, right? Like I wasn't fulfilled in the corporate world, and like seeing my clients, you know, I'm able to take myself out of my shoes and put myself in my client's shoes and see how happy they are when they buy their first home. See how happy they are because they were told that they were denied the option to even get a loan. But, you know, we finessed a little bit and worked through some things, and they brought their credit score up from 500 to 700, and now they can buy their first home. For me, that's very fulfilling. And I know where we come from as a culture, where we come from as people of not being able to own real estate. So that to me means more than anything. I'm not in this business for the money. I'm in it to help people and come from a place of contribution and really be the bridge to help people get to where they want to go. So for me, that's kind of like what I love about real estate is just seeing the smile on my clients' faces. And even the educational piece of them learning, because sometimes if they have kids, I tell them bring your kids to the closing table. They need to see this. They might not know what's going on. They might not know. Yeah, they need to see this. They need to feel this. They need to see those tears come down your eyes. They need to see you sign that paperwork. They need to be in that room to feel that energy, because it's a sense of energy in that room that they're gonna get, and they're gonna remember that moment.
And that's teaching them that just what you said earlier about just financial literacy. A lot of us did not know anything about credit. I know when I was in college, they had the booth set up and everybody, we broke and they were trying to like get credit cards. I remember I was in competition with one of my best friends. We were trying to see who could get the most credit cards. And so it was like we were just set up for failure. So
that's why I had that 680 credit score.
Oh, because you did the same thing?
They gave me credit cards on college.
Yeah. Like now they banned it now where they can't do that anymore. So I'm glad that it doesn't happen anymore. But I used to always think like, and we didn't learn about credit in school and things like that. So I love that you're pouring into the community, you're teaching financial literacy, because a lot of people we don't know. And it's really like crazy out here.
Yeah.
And so how did you become the number one agent? Give us just a little bit of like, what was your structure, your strategy, your mentorship? Just touch a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Because I know you're very humble. You're so humble. When I first met you and I was a new agent. I walked up to you and I asked you, I said, what advice would you give a new agent? I met Keith at a conference in Vegas, which was Keller Williams conference that they have every year. And I asked you, I don't know if you remember this, I walked up and asked you, I said, what advice would you give to a new agent? And the first thing you said was relationships. and building those relationships. So I was all over that conference. I'm just talking to everybody, taking pictures. I followed up. I remember you said you stressed about the follow up. Yep. So I love that. I still use that today. So thank you so much for that. Absolutely. I just love that. So just tell us a little bit about how you became that number one agent. Was it a mindset? Like just give us a little insight on that.
Yeah, it was definitely a mindset. It was a mindset shift for me. When I started out in the business, I was of the mindset of scarcity. You know, I was just like trying to make a living and out of fear, and I'm just using my grind, which I have a motor like none other. You know what I mean? Like I might not be the most talented, but you're not gonna outwork me. And that's just I've always been like that, right? And so what I learned was that with a little bit of coaching, a little bit of relationships, your business can take you further than you think, quite frankly. And so I had to do what I had to do, do more work on the business to set my systems up, right? Create leverage, right? And that what I'm doing, I can replicate it out here. Let me focus on what I do best. And that's getting in front of people and making sure they understand the process of buying or selling a home and getting them to the closing table as quickly as possible. And my strong point is being able to speed the sales cycle up. So what I did was my coach told me to hire a showing specialist. At first I was like, hire a showing specialist? Nobody can show a house better than me. But that wasn't true. And quite frankly, my clients didn't care if I was there or not. I didn't need to be the one open up the door for them like that. And I went and hired somebody that was like me, who's my right-hand man, who can talk like I talk and build relationships like I build with clients and build rapport with clients. And so that was my first move. And when I did that, I went from 85 deals to 130 deals.
Wow.
Immediately.
Wow.
And so once I stopped thinking like scarcity, like, oh, I got to pay somebody to show home for me. Like, no, because I want to be at the dinner table. I want to be on every field trip my kids are going on. I want to be able to help them with their homework. You know what I mean? That means more than anything, quite frankly. And so, and I'm also able to help somebody else who is in need of a job or who's in need of work, who wants to further their career and put money in their pocket, and educate them. So I'm doing a service on both sides, right? So that was very much very, very important to me to set up that structure like that. And it's all about systems, if we don't have systems in place for the business, because a lot of times we want to wing it. And as business owners, we can't wing it, quite frankly. So that was kind of like becoming the number one agent, was like leaning into my database, creating these relationships, and focusing on what I do best, which is getting in front of people. And if I can continue to do that, set appointments and do that, and just only focus on that, have people take everything else off my plate, I can grow this thing.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for it too.
I love that. And I know you're speaking on family and keeping the balance. And I know that because I know that's very hard for a lot of businessmen and entrepreneurs, balancing family and business and all of those things. What is something that you do, like just self-care, that you just keep yourself mentally healthy? Like, because I know it's a lot. It's a lot on both sides. So just give us one little thing that you do to make sure you stay on top of your mental health.
Absolutely. I'm in the gym 5 times a week.
Like, okay.
I'm in the gym 5 times a week.
Like, I love it.
Working out. I'm in the sauna. Making sure my health is intact, because if my health and my mind is not intact, we get so much thrown at us. There's so much come on our plate that we didn't expect. We get hit with so many things in the world on a day-to-day basis. And if we can't react to them in a way that's healthy, it's not going to be good for people like us, because we deal with so many people. We deal with so many energies, right? So your mind got to be intact first and foremost, right? And so that's something that I do. I'm in the gym 5 times a week. Like, there's no like, I'm not. That's a non-negotiable. I be who I need to be to my people, to my family, to my friends. I can't show up how I need to show up if my mind is not intact. And I got to make sure that happens.
I love that. And I love that you prioritize, and that's so important. And I always stress that to my mentees. I still have a mentor. Like I'm always gonna have a mentor no matter what. Do you have a mentor now?
Absolutely. I have a couple of different mentors for different things. Like I got like a board of directors. You know what I mean? Okay. Like I'm gonna go to this person for this, I'm gonna go to this person for that, relationships, business, money. Like I got my board of directors, and my board of directors are not yes men. You know what I mean? Like I got women on the board of directors, right? Like that's important for me. Like I don't want to see it from just a male's point of view, right? I'm not just out here. I'm not biased in that way, right? I want people to come to me and tell me I'm very vulnerable. Like with my business, come poke holes in my stuff. You know what I mean? Like come poke holes wherever you see a gap at. Like help me fill it. Because I want to be the best person I could possibly be. I want to be the best professional I could possibly be, right? So that's super key to me. I call my board of directors.
I love that, because you have to have a team. I remember in the beginning, I was just like, I didn't know how important a team and partnership is. Like it is so important. It's so important. And what do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions about home ownership? Like people thinking that it's almost what would you say is the biggest misconception about home ownership?
I think that the biggest misconception is that you need a whole bunch of money to buy a piece of property, because you don't. You just see people on Instagram, you see everybody like saying these things that are not true, TikTok, like, and I wish people would kind of like it's hard to like weed that stuff out to know what's fake is what's real, and to weed the information out. And so people can understand that 90% of the wealthiest Americans get their wealth from real estate, right? And you can use first-time home buyer programs to buy real estate. You don't need a bunch of money. You don't have to put 20% down. So I think that's one of the biggest, which that right there in itself, because you feel like you need to put so much money down, that's going to stop you. That's going to immediately say, oh, I can't do that. It's too much money. I can never do that, right? So I think that's the biggest misconception in the real estate world from an ownership standpoint.
And I'm glad that you said it, because so many people are always like, "Lynn, I want to buy, but I don't have." They always think they got to have like $100,000 in the bank. Well, the market is a little different out here in California, but
I know.
We need you out here. But I'm so glad you touched on that, because it's my passion and my purpose. I want to help our people just like you. And I'm just like, it's a way. We're going to find a way, some way, somehow. So I love that you touched on that. And can you share one of your, let's say this, your first successful, like any successful story? Like, when did you know, like, oh, this is my thing? Because like, I already know, but just tell a story.
Yeah. Man. That's a hard question.
What did you make? Okay, what's your first big deal when you said, okay, wait a minute? Like, do you remember? I know you remember your first deal when you was like the money. Like, how did you feel? Let's go with that.
Yeah, I can tell you this. Like, my first big deal to me was like a deal at the time. Like, that was a deal that was like $850. You know what I'm saying? Like $850,000. And at that time, like, cause at that time, I'm like, this 2017, right? So I'm still in corporate America. I'm dual career, right? And
whoa,
I get this check, and I look at this check from this deal, and I look at, man, it probably would have took me 3 months to make what I made in my corporate job on this one deal that I did. So I'm like, this not adding up. So I need to focus more on my time on this real estate stuff. And another thing was that my clients, what I started to notice was that my clients started to refer me a lot of business. And I created this experience for them that was like none other. And they felt like I'm not a transactional business. Like my Coalition Properties, we're not transactional. You know what I mean? And so we create this experience for people that is different from a lot of other real estate companies and real estate agents. And that's when I knew like I had something, because I started the light just turned on, and I got so busy to where like my corporate job, I didn't have time to do anymore. You know what I mean? So it was a wrap. It was a wrap. It was time for me to focus more on real estate. And that to me was a pivotal point in my life, because I'm going from this W-2 income to a I'm self-employed now. I'm fully self-employed. Like I'm jumping out there. I'm walking by faith and not by sight. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do it. like frankly.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
And I would have passed out and died.
Yeah.
So, Keith, do you, looking back before you got into it, do you think you would still do real estate, or can you see yourself doing anything else, or do you know this was it?
I didn't know it was it at the time. I mean, that's a good question. I knew when I was in college, like I had my first LLC when I was 17 years old. I had a clothing line. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. When I was in class, my teacher knew like, oh yeah, you're going to own your own business one day. All the business plan competitions and the business pitches competitions in college, like I won that entrepreneur of the year every year. So like, I knew I was going to do something in business. I just didn't know it was going to be real estate. I didn't know what the product was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be real estate. I didn't know it was going to be like, I was going to go commercial. I was going to go, I didn't know what it was going to be. I just knew it was going to be something in business. You know what I mean? And so real estate became fulfilling for me. I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book changed my life. I'm like, this is it. I can help my people win, and I can be successful, and I can give back. This is it. And so that's kind of I knew it was going to be something in business, but I didn't know, what it was going to be. But real estate just kind of like, I felt it. Like this doesn't feel like work to me. You know what I mean? And I'm so thankful I found that passion so early in my life, because I see people, like that I even mentor that are much older than me that just doesn't know what their passion is. They're trying to figure it out. So I'm just thankful God gave that to me very early, that I can even like act upon it. And I'm thankful that for my surroundings too, because a lot of times, how they say it's levels to things. And if you're in a space and you have people that are in that space with you, they probably won't go with you where you're going. You're going to have to leave them behind. I'm thankful that I was never scared to leave people behind, quite frankly. And that's not me being arrogant, but that's just me being like changing my surroundings and understanding that, okay, if I want to go to this level, I need to be around this people. If I want to go on this level, I need to be around these people. And if you don't want to go with me, I'm sorry. I can't drag you along. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful for my surroundings and the people that I have in my circle. Because like I say, relationships will take you places money can't.
That's right. Ooh. And you had your LLC at 17. There's some people right now don't even know what an LLC is. So
Right.
So speaking of you, let's go back 17. What was your upbringing? What did you come from? Money? Like what is your background? Did you come from money?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
I came from no money. I came from no money. And my mom was a single parent. My mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather raised me, and I had uncles that was there for me as well. I come from a place where my dad wasn't in my life. My mom struggled to raise me. I just made a post on Instagram about her and like the things that she did for me. Like I remember the lights being off. I remember walking into the house, clicking the lights. Sometimes the lights were off. Didn't know. We didn't open the refrigerator up. Like she kind of shielded me from a lot of it. But I'm thankful for my grandparents, because sometimes she would stay at the house where the lights was off, and I would be at my grandparents' house where they had lights and things like that. But she didn't want to tell, my grandparents what was really going on, and she didn't want me to feel the stuff that she was feeling. And so I know what it feels like to have be on food stamps and welfare and things of that nature. And I know that I would never want to go back to that. And I don't want anybody in my family to ever experience that. So it's actually bigger than me. Like that's my why, you know what I mean? To change the trajectory of my landscape of my family. And so, yeah, that's where I come from. But I come from a loving family. Like I played sports growing up. They supported me throughout every single. Probably played in 1,000 games, and my mom was always there. And so I felt that love, quite frankly. But I do know what it feels like to go without, and I do know what it feels like to work hard. And I saw my grandfather get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to go to work. You know, He worked at a company for 30 years, 5th grade education. My grandmother taught him how to read and write. I saw this stuff. You know what I mean? And so I'm just thankful for my foundation. I'm thankful for my family every single day, because if I didn't know what my grandfather and my grandmother and my mom was instilling in me at that time, but all that they did up to get me to where I'm at, even though I was rebellious at times and I didn't want to listen, I'm just so thankful for it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I love how you speak about your grandparents and your mom. What do you think they are most proud of Keith James?
I would say, maybe I need to ask my mom that question, but if I had to guess, I think they are more proud of my last name being James and how I have inspired so many people to be who they want to be, and to not feel like you're pigeonholed into this corporate environment, or to not just the inspiration that I try to give people. And then I also think, because my father wasn't in my life growing up, they are very much so happy about the father that I have become. And because that, to me, like that I knew, like, because I didn't have a father in my life, I knew what type of father I was going to be, quite frankly. And I think I can say for my mom, more so than anybody, she is definitely every day tells me, man, like, you're an amazing father. Like,
that's beautiful.
Like that like how you show up for your kids, it's like you can't put a price tag on that.
Right. And like you were saying, you didn't grow up with a father, and just you being an amazing father. Whew, thank you. That is beautiful. That is awesome. What you're doing is just spectacular. Like I said, you are a game changer. And I know we're getting close, but what advice would you give to those young entrepreneurs that want to get in this business? What can you give them?
Yeah, I would say it's better to stand out than to try to fit in, and be that this is being honest, man. Like,
it's so good.
I think when we spoke in Vegas, we were talking about, like, when I first came into the business, and people said, they put this label on me on, like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be able to do in the first year. You're only going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. You're only going to be able to do this. And I would just say, like, don't listen to that, because when I just looked at my database, I've been in this business for 7 years, right? 7 years. And I just looked at my database. I have 1,000 past clients, right? And these are my personal clients, not team, these are people that I help in the business. And so when I look at that, I'm like, I only been in business 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, that to me, these are 1,000 that I have relationships that I have. So it just, don't listen to what people put this label on and say this is what you're supposed to do. If not by sight, and don't be afraid to step out here and do what you need to do to be successful as an agent.
I love that. And I love that because, with what we have today with all the internet and everybody just trying to compare themselves to each other, and it's just lowering everyone, their self-esteem, these young kids. Yeah. I just feel sad. I'm glad I grew up in an era we didn't have all of that. So I love that you said stand out, don't be a follower. So y'all hear that? Do you? Because it's only one of you, y'all. So that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful, Keith.
Thank
you. And I was going to ask you too before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
What is have you gotten what was the best financial advice you've ever received?
The best financial advice that I've ever received? Oh man. I would say The best financial advice that I've ever received was basically make sure you budget for your taxes.
Right.
As a self-employed, person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Make sure you budget for your taxes. And if you get a $10,000 check, go ahead and take 30 or 40, whatever tax bracket you in, and just don't even count the money. Don't even count it. It's not even worth it. Because one thing in real estate that I hate in real estate is that we talk about GCI so much, gross commission income, right? In the real estate world. And we never talk about profit. You know, how can you be number one profitable? Let me show you. Let me see your P&L statement. You know, that we get so caught up in the, $1 million GCI, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million GCI. But no, it's not about how much money you make. We all know it's about how much money you can save, right? And that's just super important, especially for our culture, because this instant gratification type mindset, it's not going to help you in the long run. And I've always been of the mindset to think about what you can do 5 years from now. It's not about right now. It's about what you can do 5 years from now. Right. And so I'm just thankful for my grandmother. My grandmother bought everything cash. She didn't believe in the credit. Like, she bought everything cash, and she didn't have it in her bank account. Now, I'm not saying I have credit cards and I leverage credit.
Okay.
But when she was raised, you know, I still in my mindset of like, if you don't have it, don't spend it.
That's right. That's right. You know what I mean?
So
yes, that's so true. And that's another thing that comes down to the whole financial literacy as far as like credit and all those things. And almost the last question, but I want to ask you this. How do you in such a competitive business, how do you stay relevant? How do you stay on top?
Man, I'm a sponge. Like, I'm not afraid to go kick it with the young people in the business that are doing successful stuff. You know, I talk about the people that they might think they look up to me, but I look up to them, the Montezes of the world. You know, I don't mind. Like, I'll be like, hey man, like what's going on in your world? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I go to conferences. I like to learn. I still go to like Ignite classes. Like, I'm trying to learn as much as I can be because I don't know it all, right? And so I like to communicate to my clients and to the people in the world, just basically education. Like, that's kind of how I stay relevant. Like, I'm educating you. I'm coming from a place of contribution. I'm leading with education. You know, our mission is to be the bridge to our community for all things real estate, lifestyle, and wealth building, right? That's our North Star. So we have those three pillars: lifestyle, wealth building, and real estate. And so for us, it's like, all right, how can we put this messaging out and package it up to where people can receive it and it not feel overwhelming? You know, the more simple you can make your message, the easier it's going to be for people to receive it, quite frankly. And so that's kind of like how I consider myself staying relevant. I'm big on social media, as you see. Like, I love creating reels and, you know, talking to my community. And I just don't believe in like, oh, I know it all, so I don't need to go out here and learn stuff. I'm going to these. Listen, I'm out here. You know, I'm out here. Like, I'm trying to learn as much as possible because I don't know it all.
And you doing your thing. Oh my God, such an honor for you to be here today. And my last one is Biggie or Tupac?
I can't deny it. Hey, Tupac all day and twice on Sunday. You don't rock with the West Coast.
You rocking with the rest of it. I love it. I love it. You rocked with me today. I'm so thankful because, like, I know you're busy. So I appreciate you. I honor you. You are King Keith. So keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much.
I am just blessed to have you here, to be here on Clock In with Lynn today. You have a beautiful Founders Day. Anything else you want to tell the people out here? Anything we need to look for? Throw your details out so they can know that your social media.
You can follow me on Instagram at Keith James Realtor. You can follow my team at Coalition Properties. Since 2019, we've sold over 1,700 homes, $750 million in real estate volume. Hopefully, we can hit $1 billion by the end of the first quarter of 2025. We facilitated over $1 million to charity, which is super near and dear to our hearts. And you know, I would just tell one of my favorite quotes is short-term sacrifice for long-term success, and really live in that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you,
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to
Thank
come on.
you, Thank you so much. This was awesome. Thanks for all the gems. I love it. And have a beautiful day celebrating.
I sure will. Take care now.
Bye. Thank you. Okay, y'all. I told y'all. Y'all hope y'all listen because he is the top in the game, Mr. Keith James, honey. So, friends, let me tell y'all something. If that did not motivate y'all today, let's not down let me just say this. He just told y'all he bought his first property and he had low credit, right? And I just want everybody to know there is so many possibilities. There's so many things to have, like, build generational wealth. I told y'all this is my purpose and this is my passion. I'm going to continue to do this. I am not playing about real estate. I'm not playing about empowering our community. I'm not playing. So I just love y'all. I love everybody that supported Clock In with Lynn today. I see y'all. So thank y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please like, please share. And because there's some people that need to see this that could not see it. So it will be on replay on YouTube. So I thank y'all. God is just so good. He is just so good. And we are going to get there, y'all. Our community, we are we own the less of any community. Y'all know that. So we have to unite. We have to support each other. We have to really do this, y'all. We have to. If we don't do it for us, who gonna do it for us? Who gonna do it for us? So we have to really just, ouch. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what I did. Sorry. Look, but we just really, really, really have to move forward and believe, stay positive, be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, check on your strong friends, and let's build this wealth together. I'm going to have so many things coming up to where I can help with credit. I know y'all saw that I am helping with that. I just joined a great partnership where we're helping with money and credit, fixing your credit and all those things, and just in educating everybody on financial literacy. Y'all, I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but I am so excited. I am so excited. It's something big, y'all. And it's always bigger than us. And like Keith said, know your why. Know why you want to do this. It's not just me. It ain't just I'm not trying to do all of this just for me. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. And we all have to have that mindset because we are great. We are great. We are kings and queens. We are it. Woo, we bad. We are a bad, bad community. And I'm just ready to see what we can do. So I want us to all work together, support each other, y'all. Please support each other. Please, y'all. We got it. We let's go. I'm so ready to go. I'm so fired up. And I just can't wait to see the testimonies of everybody. And I'm going to stay positive. I don't care what's happening. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep moving and shaking, y'all. So I thank you again for being here on this hump day. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Clock In with Lynn on YouTube. I'm trying to grow my audience over there so I can do more. So please do that. Please share. Please hit that like button. But I am so excited. I am so excited. And y'all, I got so many things in store for y'all. Just please be patient, y'all. But it's coming. I'm working over here and I'm trying to get it together. And I'm ready for us to buy some blocks. But let's buy these blocks. Let's teach our children. Like Keith was saying, I loved how he said that in the closings when he have them bring in the children. I thought that was wonderful. That was powerful. Have your kids sit there and when you sign it on that dotted line, that's beautiful. That was beautiful. Okay, y'all. So the time is now, and I got to get out of here so I can get to going. And I want to be pouring into the community as well. So thanks again for being here on Clock In with Lynn. I love y'all so much, so very much. And I know everybody is busy. I know everybody out here hitting it. I know y'all hitting it. So I appreciate y'all so much. Have a good one. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Bye, y'all. Welcome to Clock In with Lynn.